numbers and upgrades.
We're just going to sit here screaming and not actually doing any real play-by-play. All right, now you look at another snipe. He might even be able to snipe this. Oh, nice.
Great move here by Crazy. He's going to pick off quite a few of these mutas.
Right.
And in fact, the engagement may occur.
Oh, is he going to go for it?
Oh, my God.
All right.
He's so close, and it's going to happen.
But RorO, he has all of his mutas together, whereas Crazy does not. The trick here is to watch the supplies and see which one is going to exponentially shoot down in the second here. And it looks like it's going to be Crazy as RorO just has too much. Even the Queen helping out now.
You know, the additional armor upgrade really working out there, as well as the 3 Queens dealing that extra damage, as well as the closer rally points. So now he's up 9 Mutalisks. And I don't know if that is something that Crazy is going to have the ability to come back from. And you can tell he doesn't think so either. An infestation pick going up immediately.
Yeah, he's going to have to use some bungles on those mutas. Now there's a small window of time here for RorO to do a lot of damage if he does it right. And we're going to see if he does that. Also, no, Crazy does have the option to try to counterattack to pull RorO's mutas back. We're going to see if that works in just a second.
Well, Crazy's down 30 supplies, down 20 mutas. Doesn't look too winnable, to be honest. This may turn into some sort of base trade, but look at that with the extra spores even sitting there, ready for it. Absolutely.
And notice this. He's splitting up those lings in the mutas so he can do the optimum amount of damage. And I think this is the beginning of the end. I mean, 100 supply to 180 supply. Spire goes down. I don't think there's going to be enough time to really get infestors out or anything that can actually defend. So that should be I love this mass spore crawler. Oh, okay, he's just going to go for a base raid. He's going to make spores in his opponent's base.
Yeah, you may as well. I mean, he's chasing those, and he's not killing your buildings. There's really no way for RorO to lose.
He has to tap out.
Well,
nice.
Yeah, that was pretty damn well done by RorO, to be honest. I liked the +2 armor upgrade. You don't really see that as often. Normally, if you go into that +1 attack, he kept on his upgrades, he kept on his mutas, and what he really did the best, I think, was control the map. He sent his mutas in one direction, which caused the mutas of Crazy go in that direction, and then sent his lings elsewhere to deal damage and slow Crazy down.
Exactly. I mean, it was a really well handled game from RorO. And you're right. He was the boss on that map.
He was
controlling where Crazy was able to go with his mutas. Meanwhile, getting in there with those lings to do enough damage that Crazy went for an engagement. But if you also notice, not all Crazy's mutas were hitting the opposing player's mutas.
Yeah. That is true. He had some of them behind.
And when you got mutaglaves bouncing off, the other mutas, that's a lot of damage that's not actually happening.
It's so true. And don't forget the 3 Queens. Even though there's some armor upgrades on the Mutalisk of Crazy, 3 Queens, that's extra damage. And when your Mutalisk count is almost exactly the same, you both have similar upgrades.
Right.
Any extra damage can make it snowball.
Yeah, and I like what you just said there, the snowballing, because it does get out of control. You'll see they're both at like 200 supply, and then they both drop about 10. Then one guy drops 15, the other guy drops 10, and then boom, somebody's down 30, then 40, then 50, and it's amazing. And that's because of the way that mutas deal that damage.
Absolutely.
And that's why when you engage with mutas, you have to commit. Because they can move and shoot if you micro them right. So
as soon as you lose that first muta battle, especially when the numbers get that high, there is no coming back. It just doesn't happen. If you get just a little bit behind, you can come back. There's different ways to do it. Sniping gas geysers, sniping stray mutas, having him have a slightly poor engagement. Sometimes people try to go into infestors and lock down the mutas, deal them that extra damage. But it is an unforgiving matchup, that is for certain. And our next map being Daybreak, a big map, I definitely do expect to see mutas out of both players once again.
Yeah, I think it's going to look similar to that last game. I think you're 100% right, Artosis. This is just so exciting. I'm so happy to be down here in our new studio doing Heart of the Swarm.
It is so packed as well. There are so many people here.
No, I actually can't even emphasize
how many people you think are down there? 3,000 people?
About
4,000 people?
Billion people down there.
Billion? No, it is packed, man. There are so many more chairs in the studio than the old one.
It's funny because we started out casting StarCraft 2 at GSL, about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And we had a very tiny little studio on the second floor of a school, and now we are here in Samsung.
Yeah. In Gangnam.
In Gangnam, yep. Oh, I see wolf. Spot
Oh, my God.
A wild wolf appears. All right, we're going to get this game going, so get ready for some more StarCraft 2 action for the first GSL Code S Heart of the Swarm. in the bottom left starting location, playing brilliantly, a champion of GSL Code S. Can he do it again? He is.
삼성칸 RorO.
And in the upper right, the underdog. Can he win this game and the next to go to the winners group? He is.
KT 롤스터 Crazy.
I have discovered on Twitter that it's called the Leviathan. That big Zerg thing.
Oh, yeah?
That I don't know, shoots out the little Zergs.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I thought it was just a Broodlord, man. That's what it felt like.
This is
at
what
least.
Broodlords look like, right?
No. So here we are, Tasteless. Daybreak. Looks like they're going to be opening with the same builds. So it's going to be a little bit before we see some serious action take place. So I got to ask you some questions about Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, talk to me.
What is your favorite new unit in the game? And it doesn't have to be from the race you play.
Well, I'm going to use the race that I actually play in this one. I really like the Oracle.
The Oracle is really fun.
Because it changes
it's a very
everything.
fun unit.
Because it means you can go starport tech.
Yeah, that's true.
And not have to get a cannon or get a robo too.
Yeah.
You can deal with detection like that, which is good, exciting for me because the Protoss did have a really hard time with just that one observer. It could just insta die.
Yeah.
Especially because in StarCraft 2 in general, you make a lot of Immortals and Colossi out of the robo. So, it was so unforgiving to lose that one observer.
Very true.
What about you?
I have a second part question for you, and then I can answer.
All right.
My second part question, what's your favorite change to something that was already in StarCraft 2? Because they changed quite a few things around.
People are going to flame me, but I like the medevac boost.
Oh, okay.
I think that's cool.
No, I think it makes it really exciting. Really exciting.
Because it's just, even just as a caster, there's so much stuff now going on,
No,
okay, now you go. Your turn. Shoot.
Okay. For new units, Swarm Host, absolutely. I think it's so cool. What a cool new unit, man. I'm so interested in and intrigued by Swarm Host play, and I think that that's something that people are going to eventually figure out, and it's going to be so awesomely powerful.
Well, the Swarm Host, too, it's very unforgiving if you lose the Swarm Host.
Yeah, certainly. It's definitely an investment. But
when you're not ready to deal with those things, like if you get caught off guard and you're like, oh, my God.
I've played some fantastic games against good Swarm Host play, or what I consider to be good Swarm Host play so far, and it can be very difficult. I really enjoy it.
Two-hatch Swarm Host play.
Oh, those,
pushing forward, sending queens, towards like the Protoss, for instance, or even the Terran, too. And just chewing away at them. I don't think that'll last, but that was my first experimentation with the Swarm Host.
Yeah. Well, my favorite change to something that already existed, I think I have to go with the decreased cost on the Dark Shrine.
Oh, yeah.
Because Dark Shrine was so unforgiving before. I feel like it's being worked into builds a bit better as an actual viable thing.
Well, it was so
neat.
unforgiving. I mean, you basically had to do damage with it.
Yeah, or you would just die.
Yeah, and that's why, as my little brother, Day 9, said he went behind Dark Shrine, because that's probably one of the only moments where
it's
you're already behind, right? So you need to do something drastic to get ahead. But now I feel like the Dark Templar gets more of a normalized place in
it's
the
actually
development of a build.
It's a unit that you actually can use for things like harassment now.
Yeah, instead of just endgame.
Yeah. It's really cool. So some great changes. Anyways, we're about into the game where things start to differ a little bit. We do see we do see a little bit of Zergling harassment here. Not getting too much done, really. Some good defensive banelings popping out.
Oh, wait, I have something else to add, actually.
Sure.
I like the death scenes now.
Oh, you like the new, when things like slide across the ice or like fall down cliffs?
What's funny is I have that turned off on my computer.
And
now I'm watching this and I'm like, oh, that's right, they do that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Because I have my graphics set a little bit lower, but no, that's cool.
It is pretty awesome. You know what? I like the new tile sets too. I always like that about StarCraft when we get new tile sets. It's so refreshing, because I'm so used to the same few tile sets. And then the thing is, there's always through the history of StarCraft, there might be 4 or 5 tile sets or something, and then you only end up using 3.
Right.
And then it's like,
What
what?
was it? What was it in StarCraft?
StarCraft 1, Badlands. I already know what you're talking about,
Well,
Badlands.
actually, what I was going to bring up was when they had the snow title set in
Oh,
Brood
yeah.
War, and the pro gamers complained that they couldn't do it because it hurt their eyes too much.
Yeah, because the pylons warping in.
Yeah.
And Protoss buildings in general.
Yeah, yeah.
It was just too bright. Yeah, it's a funny thing, but I don't know. I love the new tile sets.
Well, you know, even on this kind of fantasy level, it's cool. Oh,
Yeah.
this could be bad.
Ooh.
That was close. But no, even on this, just the whole fantasy aspect of it, it's just cool to see different parts of the StarCraft universe.
Definitely. Well, we do have Spires on the way for both players. Very similar timings. We do have Crazies going just slightly faster. Similar drone counts right now as well. And, you know, this is the time where we're going to see both of our Zerg players try to take third bases relatively soon, which is going to result in some Ling-Baneling micro battles.
We already got one being taken. Actually, excuse me, as I said that, the second one.
That's
take
right.
it over here.
Now, I love this move by Crazy. I love to see Zergs do that where they move down that spine because you know that's the new point of contention.
Well, there's two ways to get in there. I mean, it's a much more open area, even though it's less open than most third bases on most maps.
Very true.
RorO's getting super close to Crazy's Banelings, by the way.
Yeah, this is very exacting. No doubt about that. We do see some Lings coming in towards his base, but that Spinecrawler slows everything down. He's got to deal with that before he deals with the hatchery, and that's something that gives a lot of time to Crazy to actually react.
All right. Looks like Crazy cleaned that up with ease. More and more Lings coming down, though. And he wants to get these extractors up right away. This is a matchup and a situation in the matchup where gas takes priority over minerals by far because you need those mutalisks out.
Totally. You need to get as many mutas as possible. We do see that right now RorO is making a few more mutas, but Crazy still has some gas banked up in between his queens and the simple not knowing of RorO exactly how many mutas are going to be in his opponent's flock. It's going to be hard for him to put on aggression, even though he'll have a few muta lead to begin.
All right, now when you get that little muta lead, you can go around the map and take out overlords.
Yeah.
Which can actually get a little out of control. I thought,
Oh!
Sick! Completely denied that attack coming there from Crazy. RorO looking fantastic.
Yeah, that was actually really painful for Crazy. That was a lot of Zerglings that he lost. It was a smart move, but a little bit overconfident running up that ramp so quickly. He was risking it on RorO not having a Baneling in position.
All right, but again, RorO now cleaning up a lot of these overlords. Now, that's a lot of minerals. I know I said gas takes precedent, but I mean, that's a lot of minerals that you can lose when you start to take out those overlords. Plus, it's lights out for you on the map. You have no idea where they're coming from. But Crazy coming here now, hitting these drones and hitting hard. It looks like he's going to try to intercept them with his own mutas, RorO is. No, actually a block, not even an interception. I thought he was going to try to meet them. When they were on their trip on the way back, but instead, very defensive play here from RorO. Yeah,
doesn't quite get him there, but this game normalizing quite a bit, but their +1 carapaces are going to finish at very similar times. They're mining very similar right now as well. As we see 18 meters to 14, but still more building. RorO just has slight leads in basically every area right now, and that's just
it's going to be tough for Crazy to recover from this. I almost feel like RorO might have to just make a mistake.
Yeah.
This is a very unforgiving situation. And it's something that I can tell you guys right now, both Artosis and I are very familiar with since we played StarCraft 1 for 10 years.
Yes.
This is very similar to a StarCraft 1 ZBZ.
Oh, certainly. Well, RorO's starting his +2 carapace right away.
Right.
Once again, showing that this is part of his Mutalisk style. +1 attack on the way for Crazy.
Right.
But, with how well the vision of RorO was last game, the movement of his mutas, the pulling Crazy's mutas around, I feel like, Crazy has to do something different, something special this game. His regular play, I don't know if that's going to be enough to actually stop RorO.
Well, it just looks like RorO's superior in pretty much every way right now, and it's not giving Crazy a lot of wiggle room. Very, very close. RorO really comfortable when it comes to ZBZ. Let his units get right in there.
Yeah. Notice how he keeps them clumped, too. He wants them all firing at the same time. Even though they'll take the glaives bouncing all the time, very, very much so, it's very important that you get more shots in your opponent. And the way that Crazy isn't constantly bunching, you want them completely bunched up so they all start attacking immediately.
Right. All right, mutas are grouping up now. And it looks like he's going to take his fourth, and I like this because what RorO's doing is he's
Whoa.
Whoa.
And here we go.
It's happening.
He's decided it is time, in fact, to fight, and this should end up deciding the game unless it's a wash. And that was a mistake by Crazy. We saw those mutas move for a moment.
Point down, point towards us.
And it looks like 3 mutas up, 4 mutas, 6 mutas up, and look at that.
See, wow, Crazy actually managed to get out of there. A lot of times in TVZ you can't get away, but I don't know if that's going to matter now because
He's
this
7
third
mutas
base,
up.
Yeah, this third base is just exposed. Even with queens here, I don't think that's going to be enough.
And look at that, the mutas against mutas. Once again, there's no spores. A single queen does come in. It will be taken by Lings in a moment.
Lings taking out that queen.
Yeah, and it looks like RorO has just shown far too much mastery of his Mutalisks, of getting the right amount out and attacking at the right time. And this is a very last-ditch effort that we see from Crazy.
Yeah, we might actually see a GG here. This is, I mean, you really, okay, there it is, GG. Well played. Not a shocker, really. RorO the winner here between these two heavyweights.
Yeah, showing that, him being the former champion of GSL, the last season Wings of Liberty champion, having to play a lot of Zergs to get there. Definitely very sharp in his ZVZ play.
Right.
Keeping his Mutalisk count just a few above Crazy through better gas timings, not wasting as many Banelings, through things like that. And Crazy just was never able in either game to get any sort of edge.
Thumbs up for RorO.
That's right. MangoSix. That's the name of that MangoSix monkey.
What's his name?
MangoSix.
MangoSix?
MangoSix.
Good. He probably got picked on a lot in school, man. Man, that was impressive. So we're going to go to our next matchup after a short break.
Yeah.
Do you think RorO's going to get out? Because I'm going to go with a yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think I feel like it's going to be Bomber and RorO, but
yeah, I think so too.
We will have to see, can Bomber actually take out Creator?
Creator is so solid, and he was one of the more creative Protosses that we had in Wings of Liberty, so the strats he's going to be coming out with are going to be pretty cool. Bomber, I'm feeling like it's going to be the same Bomber that we saw in Wings of Liberty, just
great macro.
Macro machine.
He's had some great games so far in Heart of the Swarm, and I have a lot of faith in him. He's just shown fantastic play.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning on him. I think he's going to be able to take it.
We'll have to see. We're going to go to a quick little break, and when we return, we're going to go on to the next match here of this day, first day of the GSL Code S Heart of the Swarm.
SK, MC, 웅진스타즈, 프랑, LGIM, 요다, MVP, 동래구.
Face and eyes, their heart and soul of all the nightlife. Fix and eyes, my attention on your big behind. The way you move is enchanting, and you got me in a trance with the way you move around. And you look so seductive. Let me take you home with me. Dun, 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 dun.
Welcome back to GSL Codes. Taste and Artosis. Tastosis, the casting archon here in our ballin' new studio.
Oh my God,
It
it is beautiful.
There is so
Tasteless.
much room down here. There's the Apollo. You spot him? It's like, where's Waldo here?
And there's the delivery
And there's the
man.
pizza guy. Are we really doing this? All right.
Yep.
All right. Dishing out the pizzas.
Michael Morhaime gets 2. Nobody else gets any. This is actually a terrible stunt.
Oh, nice. For the next round, you bought a bunch of pizzas. We got to get somebody to go down there and steal some pizza for us.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully there's cheese. I told them yesterday, please make sure there's
There's
cheese.
not going to be cheese. Nobody cares if you're a
I
vegetarian.
didn't eat today.
You didn't eat today?
Well, I ate breakfast this morning, but that was at like 8 a.m.
You got your tasty carbs in there.
Oh, man. I guess
Oh, look at that.
that's a lot of
Whoa.
pizza. If there's not one cheese in there, Taste, I'm going to be very sad indeed.
Here's what we're going to do. You can eat the crust of my pepperoni
No,
pizza.
I don't want your gross crust, Tasteless.
Well, that was very nice of Mike Morhaime to
Yeah.
do that. I love that we got a shot of the pizza guy walking
No,
down.
I
That
know.
was so awesome.
They're like, so you're going to do this first. He's like, I'm a delivery
He's like,
man.
I'm a pizza guy. He's like, I got to get back to work.
You watch now. He's going to propel this to riches. He's going to be in every TV show that a pizza's delivered in because he now has stage experience
That
and
was not
delivery
an
experience.
actor, guys. That was a real pizza
This
man.
is a real pizza man, but he's going to be an actor soon, Tasteless.
He's gonna
This
be
is-
famous.
He's going to be like that guy that like carried the umbrella for the rapper and now owns an umbrella company. Is
Oh
rich.
my God, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
Who's
This-
the umbrella guy was
Well,
that?
it doesn't matter because now the pizza guy's going to do that.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Wow. He's got the experience. He knows how to act like a pizza man because he was a pizza man.
Yeah. Maybe
Yeah.
he even keeps the job for a bit. That's called method acting, Tasteless. Only Robert De Niro does that, Tasteless.
Oh my God, you're so funny. All right, so we got a lot of pizza down here. This is going to be good. We do this from time to time, guys. If you come to
Yeah.
the studio, and again, come to our studio. It is so sick. It is so big.
Yeah,
And,
it's pretty awesome, man. I think we're going to have a lot of people visiting it this year more than ever before.
well, the area that we moved the studio to is much more accessible.
Yeah,
Much more
truly
accessible.
is.
Look, I spotted the Apollo again.
He's so happy to have pizza. Look at how smiley he is. He's like, oh my God, this
I
pizza.
can't believe there's pizza in Korea too. That's right, the Apollo.
That's right.
That's right. You guys got McDonald's out here too. That's
He's
right,
like,
the
pizza
Apollo.
and StarCraft? No way!
All right, we're gonna go to our next match.
If we ordered this much pizza in Sweden, that would bankrupt Blizzard. Because Sweden's expensive.
expensive. All right, so we got a creator over here. Now, this guy is so good,
yeah.
and he's kind of a revolutionary.
Yeah.
He knows exactly how to.
He
How to
is
come up
one
with
of
a
the
new build.
leaders of Protoss, but he's very specific in the builds he makes, right? He loves upgrades. He even said so in his interview, but like this guy in Wings of Liberty against Terran and against Protoss would go like lots of upgrades, lots of Colossus. Against Zerg, you'd go lots of upgrades, but a lot of Blink Stalkers and sometimes
Right.
Colossus. But he's against a Terran here, and I'm so excited to see
Not
how
just
quickly
any
he gets his
Terran.
forges.
Yeah,
That's what I'm interested in.
Bomber is a macro machine. This guy can pretty much outproduce anybody. It almost looks unreal when you're watching, or for us when we're casting. I'm like, oh my God, He remade all of it that quick. So
He always has more supply than you expect. Always.
this guy will get maxed oftentimes before his Zerg opponents.
Yeah.
It's actually
He
happens
does
all the time.
He does it. And then you kill his army and he's maxed still.
Yeah.
Definitely a superb macro player.
I wouldn't say there's a ton of guile with Bomber. I think it's much more of a kind of brute force.
Not a ton of guile, more brute force. I can go with that.
Yeah.
He's not.
That statement was correct, and I got to use guile in the cast, so I sounded smart.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if he can Sonic Boom Creator Tasteless.
That's true. I hate playing people that play guile.
No, I know.
That's the worst, man.
Certainly is.